So Peter, that's the Villa part.
Yeah, do the Villa part.
That's good. So people should be joining in around 20 seconds. Start dropping in. And by the way, when other people...
We can't hear you.
I was trying to say that put yourself on mute if someone else is talking. And then I put myself on mute. But always mute yourself when someone else is talking. So there is not no echo calling.
Okay.
And now I see that people are starting to drop in.
Okay, awesome. Nice. Okay. So we'll give it just a few minutes more. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, people are dropping in slowly but steadily. So let's give it a couple of minutes before we start.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I think we can go ahead and get started.
Yes.
Yeah? So hello, everyone. My name is Consuelo Guzman. I am the current lead of Adelante Americas. I am currently studying public administration, a master's in public administration here at Texas A&M International University. So hello and welcome to the launching event of Adelante Americas. Greetings to our friends from Finland and the Nordics. Thank you for joining us today. Y un saludo a todos nuestros amigos de países hispanohablantes que nos acompañan el día de hoy. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Adelante Americas has 3 core values: education, entrepreneurship, and entertainment. These core values are known as E3. However, Adelante Americas are not the only ones who support this concept. In fact, let's hear what Pete Science, mayor of the city of Laredo, has to say about this. Ronnie, can you go ahead and play the video for us, please?
A minute.
Hello, I'm Pete Science, Mayor of the City of Laredo, and I have a proclamation to read. And it's regarding the E3 Learning Cities Week in Espoo, Finland, and Laredo, Texas. It reads, whereas Fun Learning Academy, Espoo, Finland, and the College of Education at Texas A&M International University, otherwise known as TAMIU, Laredo, Texas, are cooperating to provide education, entrepreneurship, and entertainment, otherwise known as E3, education all across Africa and the Americas, and recognizing shared beliefs that the future success of Espoo and Laredo relies on becoming E3 learning cities where every resident can access high-quality learning opportunities. and also recognizing that our strengths in education, entrepreneurship, and entertainment can be harnessed to increase access to high-quality learning opportunities in our cities, and also recognizing that young people working together with city leaders is the best way to achieve a future where every resident can access high-quality learning opportunities. And now, therefore, I, Pete Sines, by the virtue of the authority vested in me, as mayor of the city of Laredo, County of Webb, state of Texas, United States of America, do hereby proclaim the week of September 21st to September 25th, 2020, as E3 Learning Cities Week in Espoo, Finland, and Laredo, Texas. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor Pete Sines, for your endorsement of the E3 initiative. As stated by the mayor of my city, as a youth, we are fortunate to work with government officials to build bridges of communication that will enhance the livelihoods of our communities. Throughout the past few months, the youth in Laredo has been working with the youth from Finland to bring a youth-led movement to life. This could not have been as effective without the support of government officials in Finland. Let's hear what Jukka Mäkelä, mayor of Espoo, Finland, has to say about this partnership.
Yes, so here's actually Peter here, and just heard about the Learning Week now that's taking place in Laredo and over here in Espoo in Finland. And in the Adelante Americas, we're talking about education and entrepreneurship and entertainment. And actually, opportunity to catch up with Tuula Antola, the deputy mayor of Espoo, and we actually talked about the other E, entrepreneurship. So let's see what Tuula had to say about that.
Hey, it's Peter here, and I'm super happy to be here in Espoo, Finland, and now talking about Adelante Americas and what we are doing together. So I'm here with Tuula Antola. So Tuula is the Director of Economic Affairs here at Espoo, so part of the Helsinki metropolitan area. And yeah, so Tuula, it's great to be here in Espoo again.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Peter. And it's always wonderful to work with Peter because we share the same passion for innovation and entrepreneurship and enabling the better future, especially for youth.
Yeah, and I think that's also, it's mutual, so it's always great to work together. And now here in Adelante Americas, we're looking at education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, so this kind of like triple E model. And I think that this is something that, being here in Espoo, of course, we have, in Finland, we're known for having very good education. Some would even say, the best educational system on the planet. And then when you look at Finland, of course, Espoo is known for being a learning city. And I think Espoo is actually the only member of the Learning City network.
Yes, by UNESCO, you are right.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And yeah.
Yes, and I must say that our children and youth, they are the VIP residents for the city.
Yes.
And our city is growing quite fast, and especially thanks to families and also thanks to international families.
Yeah.
That's a really big value for us to enable the best possible education for all.
Yes. And I think that that's also where, now we're on the Aalto University campus, and I think here, of course, we see the fantastic combination of education and entrepreneurship. So I think this A-grid where we're at right now is one of the biggest concentrations of startups anywhere in Finland, and actually also I think we could say anywhere in Europe.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the reason why we also wanted to bring our entrepreneurship services of the city to this location. Yeah. So this is kind of headquarters also for me, this A-grid.
Yeah.
Yes, and we do have actually a lot of also education-related startups working here in the same building.
Yeah, and I think that this is now like looking at Laredo and there we have the TAMU, the International University there, and I think that it's fantastic to see this kind of close collaboration like we have here, Espoo and Aalto, Laredo and university. So city and university collaboration super important, and I think for me universities, that's where the young people, the future are hanging out, and I think that that's also with Adelante Americas, that now it's about the young people working together.
Yes, definitely, and I think that's the key is that it's not about we here in Espoo in Finland. It's about us.
Absolutely.
It's about enabling the dreaming and learning and sharing of youth together.
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm really happy for this new initiative, Adelante Americas, and best luck for that. And if there's anything what we can do from the Nordics for this initiative, so Peter, let us know.
Yeah, and I think that hopefully now we'll get past this COVID-19 crisis and we can meet in person. So I think it would be great to then see bring the mayors together and also and the youth together. And the reason why I think it's important that we do both is that the job of us is to make sure that us slightly older people, mayors and whatnot, we stay out of the way while the young people change the world. So really looking forward to working together around Adelante Americas, and we have here in Espoo and you there in Laredo and all over the Americas, all over the Nordics, all over Europe. This is going to be amazing. So looking forward to working with all of you.
Let's enjoy the journey together.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the city of Espoo in Finland for your words. Following in the steps of Ambitious Africa, we, Adelante Americas, will work to bridge the youth in borderless collaboration to promote and support entrepreneurship among them. This surely is an ambitious project, but it can be attained through the support of educational institutions, such as that of my university, Texas A&M International University. Let's hear more about this from the perspective of my university's president, Dr. Pablo Arenas. Dr. Pablo Arenas, welcome.
Are you able to get us, Pablo? I can see that you're online, but for some reason I'm not able to see your screen nor hear your voice. So what I recommend you to do is just quickly to log out and log in again to the deal room, because it might be that some of your software in your computer is right now interfering with your possibility to talk. So if you would be able to do that, it would probably solve the problem as soon as possible. Connie, if you continue, I can try helping Pablo in the background to get in. So there might be like some problem with his browser since it's working for everyone else. So I'll try my best to help him out.
And then, this is just to continue on what we're talking about with Tuula there earlier. So I think that it's a very important point that it's about the young people and it's about the future. And I think that this is something that is, it's very easy always to say that, but I think that it's also very important to put that in practice. So it's not just about, hearing what the youth and what the young people have to say, but it's about like then actually putting the young people in charge. And I think this is important, and it's actually a huge difference. So that's something that we've been now doing in this Ambitious Africa program. Also, how we built the whole ecosystem here in Finland and the Nordics. That traditionally it's always been about putting the young people in charge, and we have had youth-driven, ecosystems. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, I think that has really been kind of like the big kind of like secret to the success. And one thing that I think there, always talking about the example that many years ago, actually, our then Prime Minister Jyrki Katainen, he was at this World Economic Forum meetup in their summer meetup in Dalian in China, and you had then in the audience all these ministers. The former Prime Minister of the UK, Gordon Brown, was there. Important business people, the kind of crowd that you'd expect at World Economic Forum, meeting. And our Prime Minister was talking about entrepreneurship and what's been going on in the ecosystem over here. And then during his presentation and his roundtable discussion, he was actually asked that, how did you guys in Finland make this amazing, explosion in startups and this massive transformation? How did you make it happen? And then the Prime Minister of Finland, Jyrki Katainen, answered that, I don't know. And he wanted to make the point that it wasn't him, it wasn't the government, it was actually the young people that made that change happen. And I think that this is something that is very important. And there's actually another thing that is worth noting there, that there are very few places where, your president or your prime minister or, the leader of the country would admit that, hey, I don't know what happened. But I think that this is, it's perfectly okay for all of us, to admit that, hey, we can't know everything. And I think that this is something that is very important. And it's also for our young people that, of course, you don't know everything, but then, we shouldn't be afraid of going out there and doing things and then learning by doing. And of course, we'll make a lot of mistakes, but hey, that's normal when you try new things. And then you learn from your mistakes, and then you go on and you make amazing things happen. So I think that's something that is very, very important. So that's why I was saying there that it's the job of us, slightly older people, to stay out of the way when you guys, change the world. So that's what Adelante Americas is also all about, and can't repeat this, enough times, that it's super, super important that we live up to that spirit. And it's been amazing to see now, all of you, there in the US, in the Americas, and then, our young people here in Finland, Nordic countries, that, we're already seeing fantastic collaboration. And of course, there's nothing that we, can't do when we, set our mind to it, and especially when we work together. So, anyway.
Thank
I don't know if you managed to figure out Pablo's situation.
It seems like it's not working yet, but let's let Mindy fix on that in the background. And in the meanwhile, or is Pablo here online now?
No, I don't think so yet.
It seems like but let's just continue, and we'll try to reach him as soon as possible, so get the technical issues fixed.
Yeah. So again, I want to thank all of our government officials for supporting our mission of creating borderless collaboration among the youth. And I want to take this opportunity to ask the government officials watching us to support our mission. This will not only help international relations among the governments of our countries in the Americas, but will also prepare our youth to become effective and compassionate world leaders in the future. As we look to the future of Adelante Americas, it is vital that we acknowledge our roots. Adelante Americas is a concept that began in the minds of three young gentlemen by the names of Ronnie Erickson, Victor Lindahl, and Vincent Forsman. They are known as the C3O, the founders of Ambitious Africa. This trio was guided to success by world-class mentors like Sana Lukander, founder of Fun Learning Academy, and Peter Vesterbeke, who is here with us today, former Mighty Eagle of Angry Birds. Let's welcome Ronnie Erickson and Peter Vesterbeke so that we may continue to discuss this ambitious movement.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. Perfect. Connie, could you please mute yourself? Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Ronnie Erickson, one of the co-founders of Ambitious Africa, but also a serial student entrepreneur here in Helsinki, Finland. It's the utmost pleasure to be here today, launching something new, launching something exciting, but also something that we kind of have an extremely good background in now after the 4 months that we've been actually working with Ambitious Africa. And just shortly to tell you what Ambitious Africa is and what we've been doing here the past 4 months, because before I let Peter tell a bit more in detail about why we're doing this and how we have ended up here and what background stuff we've been doing. So giving you a brief intro about the past, I would say 9 months, so since COVID-19 started to this date. So as you all know, in the beginning of this year, the world changed a lot. Many things that we were maybe are familiar with or used to do in a certain way, we're not able to do anymore. And things changed pretty radically, and everything shut down.
Huh?
I can actually see that Pablo is also online here.
I don't have. But I do. Oh, you do. Oh, okay.
Let's see. We can let Pablo in here before I go with mine if they now were able to log in.
Hello, Dr. Arenas.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you. We can see you.
Allow, okay, so allow access. Hey, I think we finally got it worked out.
Amazing.
You know, sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. I had one the other day, which half the time I was on, half the time I wasn't. So it was strange. Well, let me welcome you all. I think this is I wish you could see our beautiful campus. I noticed the wonderful pictures of Espoo. Is that Espoo? Is that how you pronounce it? Espoo? The beautiful pictures of the city that you had. I wish you could see our campus because we have a beautiful campus. Right now, we have a herd of about 25 or 30 deer. We'll get more as it gets cooler. Wandering around campus, I think some days we have more deer than we have students on campus. And so, we have a beautiful campus here. Let me tell you a little bit. I want to keep this short. I know that I'm cutting into other people's time because we had technical difficulties. I know you have a very long program today. But we're excited about working with Adelante America and the Fun Academy, and working with Finland and the ministry and really doing the kinds of things that we do as an institution. We have international in our name for lots of reasons, but one of them is the fact that we have a very focused international mission. We want our students, our faculty, to have the ability and to have experiences internationally, both in terms of student exchanges, faculty exchanges, and just to have experiences that provide our students with a really unique opportunity to see the world and to see it in a very different way. So we're excited about this. But for me, the most exciting piece of this is both and James Amar, I know James is on, and I both have had have conversations about this, is the education component of this, but also the entrepreneurship. I've been working and we've been pushing entrepreneurship on this campus for the last 5 or 6 years, and it's great to be able to partner with somebody with Adelante Americas and the E3 group to really kind of help us develop that entrepreneurial spirit here on campus, that entrepreneurial spirit here in Laredo, especially among the young, especially among youth. I was talking to somebody not too long ago that said basically to set up your entrepreneur center, just all you need is a big open room, lots of plugs for people to stick in to plug in their computers, and to then just allow them to work. You don't even need chairs and desks. Just let them have floor space and allow them to work, and you just have some wonderful things coming out of youth. And so that's sort of what we're working towards, is kind of an open concept of an entrepreneurial center and developing entrepreneurship across our own campus. And so we're really excited about this. We're really excited about having this partnership, and we're really excited that I'm excited that maybe someday that with all of this that I can come visit Finland, and because I watch a lot of international shows, and I watched a couple. I think Border Town you may be familiar with. I love Border Town, but a lot of it is the scenery. So I would love to come see Finland. Anyway, so I will leave it there. I know you have, as I said, I know you have a very long program today, and I don't want to take a lot of your time. And I know the minister is supposed to address everybody, and so I want to give him some time to do that. And so again, I want to thank you for, and also you all and James Somara both, for thinking about us and thinking about this institution, because we do have an international mission here, and I think this partnership will work well for both us and you all also. And so I will leave it there, and I hope you have a really great conference today. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
Pablo. And hey, I have to actually interrupt here because I was visiting actually the border town, and we were actually there with Rani and the team. So it's actually Lappeenranta here in Finland. So they also have a beautiful university there. So we need to bring them to the table. So LUT, that is kind of like hosted by Lappeenranta. So
yeah, that'd be great.
So that's something that we can definitely do, and it's
all right.
It actually is even as a Finn, I have to say that it's a beautiful place. So it's always impressive when you go there, and it is a border town as kind of like the name. So
yes,
that's something
just like us.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that's like already like a good justification for like going there. And actually, that's also like a nice kind of like segue into next thing. So Ville Skinnari, the minister, couldn't be with us today, but he is actually from Lahti, which is the other campus of LUT and lab. So they have their university campus in Lappeenranta, the border town, and then in Lahti. And they had some not so great news. There are some factory closings taking place, so the ministers had to go and give their support to that today. But anyway, Ville is the Minister of Trade and Development here in Finland, and good friend of mine since actually his startup days. And I think that this is something that actually both him and myself always like to bring up, because Ville is not only a minister and a politician, but he's one of the rare politicians that actually has, I don't know, I think it's okay if I say that, done real work. But anyway, I think Ville would kind of like agree. But of course, I mean, being a minister in the Finnish government is also super important, especially now with the COVID-19 crisis and all of this. But Ville used to be an entrepreneur, and he was working for one of the many, let's say, not so successful .com startups back in the day in late 90s, early 2000s. It was actually a company called Matchan.com. That's when I first met with Ville. And there's another important kind of like message in that also, because Ville was at this Matchan.com that failed and didn't make it. And then Ville became a minister, so it turned out, not too bad. But the guy who was then running Matchan.com, the failed startup, he actually then went on to be the CEO of MySQL, so another Finnish startup. And that one turned out really, really well, because MySQL then was sold to Sun Microsystems for $1 billion. So it became one of the very first unicorns from our part of the world. And I think that is something that, again, very, very important here when we talk about, education, but then we talk about entrepreneurship, that more often than not, if you do a startup, you will fail. That's just like, if you look at the stats, that most startups fail. But then there are a few home runs there, and I think the message there that, Morten was running Matchan.com, it failed. Then he went on to run MySQL. That turned out like fantastic. And then he went on to run many other, amazing startups. And currently, Morten is actually in Silicon Valley running a company called HackerOne that is also doing pretty amazing. But I think that is, really important for all of us here, that when you, take decision to become an entrepreneur and you start your entrepreneurial journey, I think it's very, very important that you keep these kind of things in mind, that you might not be successful with your first or second or third or even fifth startup, but I think that's kind of comes with your choice of being an entrepreneur, that it's not always easy, but I think that you have to kind of like hang in there and not easily give up. And I think us entrepreneurs, we are a bit crazy like that, so we don't take no for an answer, and we're I think that it helps if you are a bit crazy. If you're an entrepreneur, it kind of like comes with the territory. And I mean, I also have my own story a little bit like that I was the mighty eagle at Rovio and Angry Birds. And if you look at the Rovio story, Rovio got started in 2003, and actually it got started out of a game making competition that I was running when I was working for what you would call like the original startups, or the one that Bill and Dave started in their garage in Palo Alto in California, and that's like where the whole Silicon Valley got started back in 1939, so a long time ago. But anyway, so I was at HP, I did a game making competition. Niklas, Kim and Jarno, so 3 students here at Aalto University here in Espoo, they won this competition. Then they came to me and said that, okay, we won this competition, we made this, game. What should we do now? And then I always have actually the same advice, so I guess I'm kind of like repeating myself a lot. But anyway, I told them that you should do what you love to do, and it's very clear that you guys, not only do you love playing games, but you love making games. So why don't you start a company to do what you love? So they started Rovio in 2003. So they started making mobile games, and it then took them 6 years and 51 games, and then 11th of December 2009, the 52nd game, Angry Birds, came out. So also there, something that started as a student project then became the fastest growing consumer brand ever. And I think that that's also a good example of not like easily giving up. And it turned out to be, another of these unicorns that, the startup ecosystem and, all the VCs and all the investors are chasing. But it took a while, and it took, not 1 or 2 or 3 games, but 52. And then you got to the kind of like the success. And also what, of course, is very inspirational there, that, I mean, Niklas, Kim and Jarno, they were students at Aalto, and they made that happen. So you could say that it started as a student project. And then if, Niklas, Kim and Jarno, 3 young guys from Helsinki, Finland, or Espoo, Finland, if you're going to be like exact, can do that, then there's no reason why, 3 young guys, 3 young girls from Laredo, Texas couldn't do the same, or, like anywhere in the world. And I think that this is why it's so, great to be involved with Adelante Americas, and, seeing all the collaboration that has already been taking place over the last few months now, when we've been talking about Adelante Americas. And I mean, this event today is a fantastic example of that bringing, kind of like 2 continents, or at least 2 continents together here. And I think that, again, there's no limit to what we can do when we, set our mind to it, and we kind of like start, going at this together. And yeah, as I said before already, it's important that we then keep, the old people out of the way when, the young people change the world. So that's like super, super important and can't be, stressed enough. So yeah, anyway, we're off to a good start, but this is only like the start, and now kind of like the work begins. And I know that we're going to do amazing things because, just looking at the team here and like the amazing talent that we have, there's no doubt in my mind that, there will be some spectacular results. But anyway, that's pretty much what I had. And again, hopefully we can meet, face to face, and we'll make our way over to check out the deer on the campus. So that's definitely something that we want to do. And again, also would love to see you here in Espoo and show you around. So I think that there's a I think that we also have a few there, but maybe not as many as I heard that you have. But we will see what we can find. So yeah, that was what I had on my mind, and then I'll let Consuela and Ronnie get on with the program. So thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Dr. Arenas, for your words and your endorsement. Ronnie, can you go ahead and tell us more about Ambitious Africa?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Arenas. It was amazing to have you here, and I think this was a perfect moment also for you to drop in. So just before I got started and got my speed up. So thank you so much. Good. Back to the story and back to the reason why we are all here today. So around 6 months ago, Ambitious Africa got its start. And that start was based on one part was, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic that kind of forced the whole world into the digital environment. But then also there are other reasons, such as like political things that are happening, the strategies that EU is putting together right now, and also the fact that we really need to work together with the developing countries, not just keep on like forcing stuff there, but instead like seeing how we can activate something that we call the unlimited resource. So the young people to do things together, to take projects onward, to build networks between each other. And this is kind of like what made the start of Ambitious Africa. And in late March last year, we organized a hackathon together with me, Victor Lindahl, and Vincent Forsman, based on the fact that we wanted to solve some problems that COVID-19 had caused. But the whole world had gone online, and organizing a hackathon or ideathon or whatever you want to call it was not possible. So everything had to be done online. And this kind of like forced us into a situation where we have 10 days time. We just got to make something happen and get as many solutions as possible to create help. And this was kind of the first time we brought a big bunch of young people together, working on a common project, on a common goal, on something that was affecting the whole society at the same time. And we actually managed in 10 days to bring on board 250 attendees, 50 mentors, 22 countries from 9 different time zones. And actually 3 of these countries were from Africa. The hackathon was a success in many ways, and in the time span of these 10 days, it resulted in 27 amazing solutions that all fighted the problems that COVID-19 had caused. And this hackathon also gave us kind of like the courage and the understanding that this is the time to move in the digital environment, even towards the countries that haven't been that digital before. So for example, those smaller African countries, such as Uganda, Rwanda, and so on, who are growing right now. So the whole African continent was kind of forced also to go through a digitalization process. Victor and Vincent, during 2019 summer, had been doing their mandatory internship from Hanken School of Economics, actually also to Africa, to Rwanda, building 2 business incubators there, to university-based incubators focusing on agriculture towards the young people. I joined myself this project on a bit later stage to help them with one another thing. But what our motion or what our idea there was to actually make this experience and make this kind of incubator model that the Nordics and Africa with teams that consist of each, as many people from both continents would come together and actually make a change, make projects, and make an internship model that actually not only is about money, but it's also about impact. And then during 2019 fall, before COVID hit, we also met then with Peter, we met with Richard von Kaufmann and Sanna Lukander, who had all done something already in Africa during the past years. But it was not the correct time to make something bigger or something sustainable happen. So many of those projects kind of like happened, they had good results, but they never kind of like made into a snowball effect. So with this team, after the hackathon, we decided to try to do a similar thing, so reach the African countries online. And during April 23rd, we had our first event to Rwanda, with I think it was 2 weeks of planning. a really successful event with some maybe 60 or 70 participants, which was kind of like the first start of the whole Ambitious Africa movement. And from that date, the snowball actually started to roll. And looking now back at the last 4 months and what we've been doing, amazing things have been happened by only activating and bringing the young people together to do things now in an online environment, but also in the future on site. Looking at some statistics of the last 4 months, we have actually built teams now in 25 African countries. We have 4 Nordic countries involved. Every team that is working within these countries consists of at least 4 people, so 2 people from the Nordics and 2 people from Africa. Some of the teams are already now, or some of the teams' communities are more than 100 people big, which results us in having almost 300 volunteers working every week with us to actually reach the common goal. We have reached about 280 million people all around the world, and this reach and this amount of interest and volunteers that we've been able to bring on board showcases that we're doing something right. And this reach and the fact that we have been pushing the way we have been also resulted in Consuela, Melinda, and the whole team from Texas to contact us and to actually ask, could we do something similar together with them? And of course, our motion has been from the beginning to take this Nordic mindset, the way we are allowed here in the Nordics to do things and take things onward, and to replicate that to as many places as possible, because many of us understand that the young people are the future. The young people are actually the ones who are going to lead this world in 5, 10, or 20 years. And even though it's a lot clearer when you go to Africa, where the median age is something around 20, while in Finland the median age is maybe something around 60. so it's a bit different, but it's still the same fact that those people will one day step down, and then it's the younger generation that will step in. And I don't know how much you know about the Nordics or the Finnish last 10 years history, but here actually happened a big startup boom thanks to Peter and many of his colleagues. So there is this story that Peter often likes to share about him going to Aalto University 10 years ago, talking about entrepreneurship and asking this 600 people crew, how many of you actually want to become entrepreneurs when you grow up? And then these 600 people there in the audience were looking around to each other, and only 3 people actually raised their hands. So everyone wanted to work at these big corporations such as Wärtsilä or Nokia or the leading organizations of Finland, because kind of like the money and the future was there. But Peter thought that the thing was different, and what Silicon Valley had at that time already showed us, there was many startups coming up, but nothing like this happening in Finland. So then Peter decided to, together with the people around him and with some young entrepreneurs, to create Slush, something you probably have heard about. So it's nowadays world's largest startup event or startup event, yeah. And the whole idea with Slush is to bring together startups and investors, make that linkage and make a reason for young people in Finland to actually understand why you should be doing startups and showcase how much interest there is. And 3 years ago, Peter went back to the Aalto University to have the same speech about the same subject to a similar audience, asked the same question, how many of you would like to become entrepreneurs when you grow up? And this time, more than 300 of the 600 people raised their hands. So a big change in the mindset here in the Nordics had happened. And this mindset change has also changed the whole perception of Finland and how Finland is seen in the world and how many startups from here are coming out and going out to the world. It's also acting for our education is also affected by that in a large scale. The entertainment part has grown a lot here in Finland, so it has been an old joke that Finland is the best in the world at marketing, which has not been the case. But thanks to this boom and the need of doing these innovative solutions and innovative things has kind of led to the situation that it is like that nowadays. We're actually able to reach a lot of people with the things that we do. And I think that the start of Adelante Americas is just an example of that now we have reached a completely new segment in the world, a completely new continent on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. Now we are in USA already and linking Nordics, USA, and Latin America, which is beautiful and important and something that has not been done on this scale before. So with these words, I'm looking forward to all the great things that we can do together with Adelante Americas. We have been working now a bit more than 1 month, already built a team of more than 15 people. So there is a lot of interest, and I hope to see many of the attendees of today joining the movement and making great things happen. In Africa right now, we are running around 30 different projects, everything from hackathons to innovation weeks to new incubators being launched in 7 countries. We're doing educational projects. We have, together with Teknologiateollisuus, Technology Finland, we're taking out a course called This Works out to most of the elementary schools in the world with the goal of having 1 in each. And this is a gift from Technology Finland to help all elementary school students and teachers learn what technology is and how it can be leveraged in the future. We're also doing amazing things when it comes to educating teachers. So we're leveraging a lot this teach the teacher model. And all this is done by young people working together, young people supporting each other, the ministries, the governments, and businesses being there to give their support and mentoring to these young people. And together, we're moving onward all the time towards a better tomorrow. And maybe in the last words, the fun fact about Ambitious Africa is that all these 4 months, everything that we have done is done without any money. So we have invested €0 or we got any investments this far, which just showcases even more that the people who are doing this and who are part of Ambitious Africa or Adelante Americas are here because they want to be here, not because they have to be here. And this is also one of the reasons why I think that this Adelante launch and the start of Adelante has gone so great, because I think we have a team that is here with the right passion and with the right intentions. So thank you so much for the opportunity to join. Thank you so much to Connie, Melinda, and everyone joining today's event for making this possible. And I hope to meet as many of you as possible. And we're probably going to host many, many events and bring many interesting Latin American countries and countries from the States to these events and launching them. So looking forward to learn, get to know all of you and see what we can do together and make happen. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ronnie. Yes, here at Adelante Americas, we are hoping to achieve just as much as Ambitious Africa has already achieved. We have a great set of mentors. We have Peter here mentoring us. We have Sana Lukander, Dr. O'Mara, and we have Dr. Juan Sushi, an expert in nonprofit organizations, also mentoring us, because we are moving to create this to make this into a nonprofit organization here in the United States. And we're getting out there. So if you want to go ahead and join the movement, please send us a message. Keep in touch in our social medias, and just reach out through any means possible. We're here and we are going to answer you so that you can go ahead and join us. Peter?
Yes, so I'm muting myself. Yeah, so I think that it's really great to see, finally, going live with Adelante Americas. And if you look at now what we're doing and the 3 E's that really are like at the core here, so education, entrepreneurship, and entertainment. So maybe a little bit more on that. So I think, and of course here, among educators and pedagogues and students and all that. So I think, of course, we all see the importance in education, and I think that is something that again can't be stressed enough. That the education is really the foundation for everything. And here in Finland, we've been kind of like reforming and transforming our educational system pretty much since Finland, very young nation, like a bit over 100 years, and we started doing these bigger like educational reforms a bit more than 50 years ago. And one thing that we always hear, and I mean this is something that companies, nations, all of that, always say that the most important resource and most important thing are people. But I think that it's important to do a bit more than just say so. So I think that that's again why we need to make sure that we provide fantastic education, not just for a few, but for all. And I think that this is something that we really believe in here. And in Finland, we're only 5 million people, so very few. So it means that we really can't afford not to educate everybody to a very high level. And then that said, I mean, the same is true that if you go to India or you go to China, and of course US, like 300 million plus people. But if you look at China and India in particular, 1.4 billion people, then I don't think that you can use that as an excuse that we are so many that we don't really need to educate everybody. I was actually in India. It must have been now actually year before last or something like that, before the COVID crisis anyway. And then we were talking about education. And then remember the exact, I think it's like 2 million schools or something like that. And then I was told that, but yeah, Peter, there's like a lot of schools, but you don't need to worry about like all of them. Only, I think 150,000 are any good. And then it's like, that's like, like paying that, so, you're kind of like accepting that, like it's enough if you educate like a few people and then, like, okay, there's plenty more, so we don't really need to care. But I mean, like, then you think about like on a individual level here that, that's not like good news if you are like not important. And I think that this is, again, of course, for a Finnish person, it's kind of like it's it hurts and it's painful. And I think for all of us here, that I mean, it's unacceptable that we wouldn't provide everybody with fantastic education. Then if I look at like the environment over here, and I think that there's one thing that we're very kind of like proud of here, that I always ask my foreign friends that if they know which school here in Finland is the best school, and then you've never been here, so you say, okay, I don't know, I've never been to Finland. But actually the answer is super easy. The best school is the nearest school. So meaning that all schools here are fantastic. So it's not like that you need to as a parent think about, okay, where in the city do I need to live, in which neighborhood do I need to be in order to get proper education for my kid. You don't need to worry about it here. You just basically, wherever you happen to live, the nearest school is the best school for your kids. And I think that this is something that again something that I think we should all strive for. I mean, that is because then if you start like thinking about that it's actually pretty tough to achieve this kind of situation, that the best school is the nearest school. It's like easier said than done, but that is something that we need to really kind of like go out and make reality, and not just here in Finland, but like everywhere. And it's really important that we do that, because education is really like the foundation for the kind of society that we end up with. So it really decides kind of like a lot of that. And then having fantastic education is pretty useless if you don't do anything with that. And for me, like the second E, entrepreneurship, I mean, that's really all about like making stuff happen. It's about, entrepreneurs are people who do things. And this is not some kind of like, exclusive domain or some kind of exclusivity for like startups or businesses. I think that we need to have this kind of entrepreneurial mindset, all of us. And this is how we, basically, need to live our lives. That it's really, you need to be able to take initiative. You need to be, a creative problem solver. So also then, linking back to education, that the education needs to deliver that kind of, skills that you can apply, in life. And it's, it's not super important to just like learn for tests. You need to learn, real life skills. And that's something that, again, education, entrepreneurship go very much like hand in hand. That you need fantastic education, but then you also need to have, as part of that, the ability to take initiative and to creatively solve whatever problem you like come across. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about, at least for me. Then, I always, so entertainment. I think that, we're all, people, of course, we need to be entertained. I think that is something that is just like a very, much a human, like, characteristic, otherwise, we might as well be robots, so I think entertainment is very important. It's important that it's fun. But also coming from kind of like a gaming industry background and, with Angry Birds and all that, I think that we can learn a lot from the entertainment industry. I mean, if you look at, if you take Angry Birds, I mean, going from a game, a few downloads and then boom, 4 billion. So you can have a massive impact in a very short period of time. And this is, again, thanks to, enabling technologies. We have the smartphones, we have the networks, we have fantastic connectivity now all over the planet. Of course, there's still, like a lot to do to make it even better. But, we have, even, today that we can connect here, this wouldn't have been possible, 10 years ago, kind of, 20 years, definitely not. So I think that that's something that, again, because of technology and because of then like what we learned to do, like in the entertainment industry, Hollywood, not far, or actually on the other coast from you guys, the movies, the TV, but now also like with games and all of that we can reach an amazing number of people and we can have massive impact. And I think this is something, I mean, also we are a great example of benefiting from that, here in Finland. If you look at, we all grew up watching, American, movies and TV and like all of that. And then we took, like this American dream and made it reality. So I think that that's also, something that, of course, we have to thank Hollywood for, that we kind of like believed all the stuff that we saw in the movies and TV, and then we just made it real. So could say that that's something that, we definitely have to thank Hollywood for and the entertainment industry for. And that's like goes for the world. So that's also another important lesson, that the entertainment industry can have a massive, massive impact on like all of us and all of our lives. Then another thing that I think is important when we talk about learning, and we mentioned like fun learning before. Of course, we all know that we learn and, we learn more when we are actually enjoying what we are doing. And it's also the same thing like in work, that if you, enjoy what you're doing, the results will be better, be it, like in your job or, like when you're studying or anything like that. And I think that we can learn a lot from the games industry on like how we engage people, how you get somebody to download your game and how you get people to come back time after time. So we want to have the same kind of thing going on with learning. We want to actually make people addicted to learning. I think that is something that we should have as an objective, that we make learning experience so fun that people will come back time after time, and they want to learn more. And I think if you look at young children and we look at early years education, I mean, this is what is so much fun about that young children are the best learners on the planet. And then, unfortunately, many of our like educational systems in our schools are not very good at actually keeping that curiosity and that spirit and that thirst for knowledge, going. So I think that we can do a much better job in our schools. And again, we should bring together the best pedagogues and the best game designers. And then I think that we can really design amazing learning experiences. And it's not something like optional. This is something that we absolutely have to do, because we are competing constantly for the attention. We're competing for people's time, how they are using their time. I mean, right now, you could be watching, us here, rambling on, or you could, just boot up Netflix and check out the latest movie, or, maybe you, grab your phone and you start playing, Angry Birds or some other game. So this is the reality. This is the world we live in. And that means that our learning experiences need to be competitive with all of that entertainment. So bringing the entertainment industry, the games industry together with the learning business, if you will, like the educational institutions, the schools, the universities, like all of us. I think that's super, super important. So that's why I really believe that when we take this, triple E or this E3 model, we take education, we take entrepreneurship, we take entertainment, and then we create like this amazing mix of all these, E's. I think that we can really change the world, and that's what Adelante Americas is also all about. That taking these ingredients and then working together, and then I think that we can really do like amazing. So that's kind of like what Adelante Americas is all about, and I think we're off to a good start. But again, it's only a good start. Now we need to do what we're talking about here, and we're going to make it real.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Peter. So our purpose here is to reach out to all of the American countries here, especially to the Latin American communities, to reach out to indigenous entrepreneurs and to give them the opportunity that they might not have in their countries to become educated in entrepreneurship, and to motivate them to let them know that they have what it takes, because the Latino is very humble. They don't really believe that they can achieve this, and by putting together a network of young entrepreneurs and connections, we can actually motivate them to get this done and make this a reality. So thank you so much for that, Ronnie and Peter. Now I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next item on the agenda today. So parallel to the launching of Adelante Americas, we are also launching our first national team, which is Team USA. Because we are to build international relations, it is important for us to understand and respect each other's cultures. With the launch of each country, we will also include a piece of each country's culture to share with each other. For the USA, this will be Discovering Greek Life with an emphasis on multicultural organizations. Before we hear about this from our guest speaker, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick glimpse of what Greek life looks like. Mary Peterson, I know that you're here. If you could please check your email really quick so that we can get you set up to speak in a few minutes. You might be having technical difficulties on your side. So please check your email and call Miss Melinda Downey here. I sent you her email, so her phone number. So Ronnie, could you please play for us the Greek life video? Thank you.
Sorry, Consuela, is the Dean Thapp or Greek life video? Yes, perfect.
Awesome. So that's just a glimpse of what Greek life here in the United States looks like. These videos and images are a product of Dean Thapp, a brother of Omega Delta Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So let's hear what he has to say about the way Greek life influences a young entrepreneur such as himself. Ronnie, can you play Dean Thapp's video, please?
My name is Dean Thap. I'm actually, I have an Instagram called DJ Dean Thap where I actually promote Greek community around different Greek organizations. And I wanted to make this video to show pretty much that Greek life has pretty much evolved in a multicultural sort of way, where you have all these different organizations from different cultures, different backgrounds that want to promote brotherhood, sisterhood. Of course, mine's brotherhood. Of course, I'm a brother of Omega Delta Phi, and I have my little Letterman jacket and then with my letters, which I've earned at Arizona State University. Um, the, the thing I wanted to bring up is that it has continued to be a source of leadership and a way for many people in different backgrounds to actually get involved and promote community service and any kind of things that might be pertaining to them in a certain way within their career or lifestyle. For what I do is actually provide that outlet for a lot of Greek organizations to reach out and provide that positive atmosphere around the different cultures that we have in the organization.
Thank you so much for sharing your talent with us, Dean, and thank you for sharing your experience as a member of the Greek community. If you would like to learn more about Greek life through a visual component, I definitely recommend that you check out his social media and website. Follow him on Instagram under DJ Dean Tap. You can also find out more information of his work under the exhibitors tab here in the deal room. Now to talk more about Greek life, we would like to introduce Mary Peterson. Mary Peterson, are you here? I think she's having connection problems as well. Hello, Mary Peterson.
I asked Mindy already a moment ago to reach out to Mary, but for some reason Melinda was not able to reach her, so there might be some internet problems or something else in the background because we are not able to get a hold of her. So we'll let Mindy continue trying and let's just continue with the program.
Mary, if you could sign out of the platform and then sign back in again, that might help resolve the issue. If you're hearing me. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Greek life. I am actually a member of Greek life myself. I am a sister of Sigma Lambda Gamma sorority. And basically, just to narrate everything that has... Oh, hello, Mary. You're here. Awesome.
Sorry, having technical difficulties. I apologize.
Not a problem. Go ahead, Mary. Can you go ahead and tell us more about Greek life?
I can. First of all, I need to share with Peter that I am addicted to learning. Even at an older age, I'm still addicted. So that's going to be my new thing. I'll give you credit, Peter. I'll give Finland credit. It's not from the US, it's from Peter from Finland. Give the countries their due. I am Mary Peterson, and I have been involved in higher education for many, 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 many years. And I also have been involved in the fraternal system on college campuses in a variety of ways. I fortunately had the opportunity to start Sigma Lambda Beta at the University of Iowa in Iowa City. And this is based on a Latino-based fraternity with multicultural membership. That was in 1986. And then in 1990, I started Sigma Lambda Gamma, which is a Latina-based sorority with a multicultural membership. We have grown in the 30 to 35 years they both existed to over 120 entities in college campuses across the country. Built us up from having nothing but volunteer people to now we have full-time staff. We rent an office space for each organization. I used to multi-manage them by working full-time at the University of Iowa. It's been the greatest joy of my life, being raised in small town Iowa on a farm, and then going off to college. And again, didn't even know I was kind of being a social entrepreneur at the time, but I guess I was. So I'm going to add that to who I am. Greek life is quite interesting and can be very useful to the movements of this organization. They kind of follow, their foundings follow kind of the history of the country of the US. I mean, The first kind of fraternal group was in 1775, and there were more secret societies, very much taken away from Britain, where they had secret societies of men for whatever purpose or reason. And then they became an intersection kind of dining clubs and literary societies, right? Following history, when women started finally going to college, and they had a lot of battles. The first sorority started in 1851, and those women had to overcome restrictive social customs, unequal status under the law, and that they were less able as men. The beginning sororities, those founders of those organizations, were truly women that fought for women's rights and the right to vote. They wrote great essays and articles in newspapers, and they were incredible women. So they formed because there was a need for women to bond in a group to support each other. Then we keep moving forward. Even after the Civil War, for example, when we had a country divided, when the war was over and men came back to school, to colleges and universities, they started forming fraternities with men from both the North and South to rebond as a country. You even see it after the Vietnam War and during the Nam War. The membership in Greeks really went to lower membership because people they were really, college students especially, were fighting against, the whole government and policies and procedures that went about to join this group, because fraternities and sororities do get bad names. You even see it following where Black students started coming to college, and all Black colleges, where they formed their own fraternities and sororities because of the racism they felt and couldn't join the other ones. Most of those organizations were started back historically white, we call them, as Christian based. So there were Jewish men on campus that wanted their own fraternities. So fraternities started that were just for Jewish men. Then you see us coming in where multicultural groups started. We have 9 Divine Nine, historically Black Greek organization. They have a governing body that oversees them. We have a multicultural Greek council was formed in 1998 because we had the growth of multi-groups coming on. You think, I just told you 1986, 1990. And then there's another group that is an umbrella group that's over the Asian Pacific Islander founded groups, like they were founded maybe on a Korean base or Chinese or Filipino. So now, as people are getting more access to education of different cultures and color, those form to get that bond again. So the unique thing about them is they're all founded on the same values and principles. They do have the ability to have social influence. They're very philanthropic in nature, and they have a real value of education. There's like requirements to have a certain grade point to belong and to have to sustain. There are certain requirements by their national organizations that say you have to do certain things, and those national organizations also discipline when inappropriate behavior happens. In SLG, for example, we are going to not call it a digital process when people do things that are inappropriate. It's a justice process. We're going to the restorative justice piece and changing our language. It's interesting, when Consuelo asked me to be a part of this, I was so excited, right? But I had been thinking about Sigma Lambda Gamma becoming a different kind of sorority. Our true basis, we are about the empowerment of all women in all different ways. But now I want us to think about, we can be more of a social entrepreneurial organization as well. What are we doing to help influence policies, whatever, that are not fair to people of color and culture? So we're 30 years old this year, so we're on a new journey, and I'm pretty excited about that. And I've been influenced by all this stuff I'm learning from all of you as well. I think that the fraternal world in the US, joining up and getting fraternities and sororities to volunteer time, effort, donate, is a real easy thing to do if we get right partnerships with the right people. So those could be partnerships like we partnership with a group called NAPA, which is the umbrella group for the Asian Pacific Islander national organizations. We get a partnership with the Multicultural Geek Council, our partnership with Sigma Lambda Gamma or Sigma Lambda Beta. The unique thing about me, when you join a sorority, you're not supposed to join any other. Once you're in, right? So as an undergraduate, I was part of an all-white sorority called Alpha Phi. But now I'm a brother of Sigma Lambda Beta, mind you, and I'm a sister of Sigma Lambda Gamma. So I am a white woman that is a brother in that fraternity. My youngest biological son joined that fraternity. Now he's my brother too. So I'm the MoBro, mother brother. So it's, and of course, the networking right here. Consuelo knowing me as sisters and talking. I mean, that's the beauty of what they can network. And alumni that have skills to give, teachers, whatever. Because the sorority says, hey, let's do this, let's support this, that will make a real big difference. I'm going to share one motivational quote to all of you, and then I want to open up for any questions or answers from me. I know that my gift that I can give back to the organization is just organizational management. I've helped start a lot of non-for-profits, just the inner structure and staffing and how you do that. So that'll be some of the stuff I'll be helping Consuelo on. But it's real interesting that if you think about this, we do not choose to be born. We didn't get to decide when we're going to be born, right? We did not choose our parents. We did not choose our culture of the country of our birth or how we were brought up in this world. We did not, most of us, choose to die, nor do we choose the time or condition of our death. But within all this realm of choicelessness, we do choose how we shall live, with courage or cowardice, honorably or dishonorably, with purpose or adrift. We decide what's important and what is trivial in life. We decide that what makes us significant and powerful is either what we do or what we refuse to do. But no matter how indifferent the universe may be to our choices and decisions are ours to make. We decide, we choose. And I want people to decide to choose to be involved in this great movement in conjunction with our folks across the world. I just think it's powerful. And I think that's a good quote to teach some of our young entrepreneurs. Let's talk about that. And then you have a great discussion. So I'm a past teacher, so I'm into all that kind of fun stuff as well. But that's Greeks in a nutshell, my little motivational statement for the kickoff of this. I'm open to any Q&A through the chat about anything.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so much, sister, for being here with us today. She's actually my sorority sister. I'm also part of Sigma Lambda Gamma sorority. And thank you so much for bringing up the networking aspect. Actually, that is exactly what Adelante Americas is about, and Ambitious Africa as well, to network. And as part of the ambitious movement as a whole, we are here to connect with each other and to make these great networking opportunities. Similar to what a sorority or a fraternity here.
Right. That's exactly what we're doing. You are fraternal in nature as an organization. Mm-hmm. You really are. I think the other thing, when Peter was talking, I'm echoing, I think. When Peter was talking, he mentioned that getting into the entertainment piece and teaching through that. So immediately my head went to, okay, my nephew works for a large gaming company. He knows people that can create that. So how do I get to his people that will voluntarily do it for us? So my brain was already going that way, right? And that's what we all have to do. Even the smallest things, you have people that would love to do that. So yeah. And I've got a son that plays live games all the time, and he has a master's in education and environment. Say, Ben, how would you create a game that's teachable? And get his feedback. Just volunteer stuff again, because they have an interest and a passion. So.
But that's exactly what we need. We need to bring people together. I mean, this is again that it's like the best pedagogues, the best teachers, and the best game designers, and they are typically not one and the same person. So that's again the important thing there. And I think that also when I look at like a lot of the games companies and the people there, that it's also there's a lot of interest in doing exactly this, because then you really can create something that has like massive like meaning, and that's
Right.
important for all of us. So I think that it's not easy, but it's not like super difficult either. So it's more about like then going out there and you should talk to your son, and we should all talk to people that we know then in the different industries, and kind of like bring people together and make it happen.
I think the unique thing, and maybe not be unique to the U.S., but many of our colleges and universities have a degree in entrepreneurialism as an undergraduate. And that was like at the University of Iowa here, we have a large, well-endowed business college. And so there's a building just for those entrepreneurs to think and create together. So connecting with those as well, because, for a university that you're connected with this type of organization doing this kind of stuff is really good stuff.
Yes.
Really good stuff.
Totally.
So we got lots of connecting to do whatever, and it's going to happen, and take it slow and easy so we do it right. But yeah, I just think folks that are listening, this is something that's going to be really exciting, and I hope you're able to help and support in some way.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Mary.
You're welcome.
Question by Dr. O'Meara. What are the differences and or points of connection between networks and ecosystems? Dr. O, would you like to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Are you talking to me or Dr. O'Meara?
Dr. O'Meara. Are you able to answer the question, Mary? What are the differences and or points of connection between networks and ecosystems? I think this, yeah.
Go ahead.
This could be a question for Peter as well. You are aware of the ecosystem that Ambitious Africa has, where we're creating teams in different countries. So that's what Dr. O'Meara is referring to.
It may just be how we interpret the words, but Peter, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that it's more like semantics. So I would just say that it's pretty much like the same. And I think that here, what we've been talking about again, bringing people together to get stuff done, and then you form a network, you form an ecosystem, and I think that. I would say that maybe kind of like talking about ecosystems, it's a bit of a richer term, because network is maybe more of a technical kind of thing, and I would say then with the ecosystem, I think that it's a little bit actually what always talk about, like if you look at now what we're trying to do, it's really kind of like growing an ecosystem. And yes, you end up with a network as well. But the ecosystem, what is true for the ecosystem we are talking about here, be this like a triple ecosystem or it can be like a geographically contained ecosystem or something like that. But if you look at ecosystems, then like out there in nature, it's like a jungle or a reef. And I think that when we're talking about now ecosystems and what we're about to embark on here, it's not for people who are then into kind of like growing potted plants in their house or in their home. I mean, that's like very much like a controlled, like, you kind of like get what you plant, what, predictable. But I mean, the thing here is that you can't control the world, so let's not even try. And I think that this is a little bit like why some people are uncomfortable with this kind of like ecosystem approach, or like just going out there and learning by doing, because if you want to have an environment that you are controlling perfectly and there are no surprises, then probably this is not for you. But I think that this is the way I see ecosystems, and why I think the ecosystem term is very good, because with that kind of like comes this biological ecosystem, or these ecosystems that we see all over the place in nature, and they are not something that you can control. But I think that you can help grow, and you can help then foster like healthy development and all of that. So again, like just with ecosystems, out there, like the jungles, the reefs, and all of that. That we need to also work hard to not destroy them. So I think that's also important from our aspect.
Yeah. I think it's a real approach to how we look at an ecosystem. Is a great approach. I think the networking is just that we have people that can help in some of those ecosystems and go and do that. So that's a separate thing. They may just providing some resources for those different ecosystems, depending what they're all growing and doing and discovering. But that helps. It depends on how involved somebody wants to do it. If they just want a network that wants to just do one thing that helps us out, that's what we do.
Yeah.
But the philosophy of ecosystem is what needs to be followed in this development. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as I was telling Mary Peterson some weeks ago, my story here with Greek life is that I am a daughter of immigrant parents that came here to the USA. They have absolutely no education. Well, my father studied all the way up until probably middle school here, the equivalent of middle school in the United States. But they came here. My mom came to the US without knowing how to read or write. So long story short, there wasn't any way that anybody could guide me through college and university life here in the United States. So joining the sorority actually helped me be able to understand how higher education works here in the USA and to be successful enough to do so. And not only that, I mean, the fact that they also helped me understand that I have the ability to be a leader and to put my mind's thoughts into work. That's what Greek life did to me, and I am sure that is what Greek life has done to a lot of other students here in the USA and minority students especially. So yes, I just wanted to go ahead and point that out and say that this is what the mission of Adelante Americas is as well. Now, of course, we're extending this to other countries in the Americas, and Ambitious Africa is doing the same thing, extending this opportunity to the youth in the African continent. So become incubators of leadership for the youth in these two continents, 3 continents actually. So yes, that is what we're here for. That is what Adelante Americas is trying to achieve. So please join us, follow us on social media. Also, I mentioned in the chat that we can make connections with each other through this platform. We can go ahead and schedule one-on-one meetings. If you would like to get to know more about a certain organization, a certain business, make a network connection with them, you can do so through this platform. So the deal room is going to be open up until the end of the day today, so that you can go ahead and schedule a meeting with anybody you would like, if you would like to do so. So yes, thank you so much for joining us for this session, for this welcoming session. And then right now we're going to go ahead and also go ahead and switch to the next session. So to do that, make sure to exit this out. Go ahead and click the deal room homepage, click the program, and then click the agenda. The next session is titled Entrepreneurship Without Borders. I don't remember the name exactly, but it's the next thing on the agenda. So just go ahead and add it to your agenda and then join the session. Sounds good? Perfect. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next room.
Yeah, see you there.
Thank you.
And welcome to Adelante Americas.
Thank you.